Hi guys, good afternoon. I'm Sandhya Sashidhar. Works for more than 6 years now. So I hope you guys have got the base. Those have not worked with Selenium until now, you got the basics of how Selenium tests. So we go to the next level now, writing behavior-driven tests with Selenium. I hope everybody here are quality enthusiasts. You may be developers, PMs, or QAs, but all want quality, right? We are quality enthusiasts. So, what is the one most thing that bothers any quality enthusiast? It could be even a client or software owner who's a quality enthusiast. What is the most bothering? Requirements, yes, and then, but bothering, yes, requirements is most important. And what disturbs you? Yes. So, what part of it's good performing? It's good, right? What aspect of the performance? Issues, bugs, defects, right? So, when you say defects, there is a broad categorization in defects. So, one is the implementation defects. Basically, while coding, when actually putting it into, developing it, you get some defects for which we test. We break our heads and test and see if it is matching. The other is the requirement defects. So, if you get a defective requirement in your hand, or you get a requirement and you take it in your mind in a wrong way, then those are called requirement defects. And it is said that at least, if not more, at least 50% of the defects arise from the requirement understanding. Right? So whatever you break your head, you put in efforts, it's all based if your understanding itself is wrong, the foundation itself is wrong. Right? So now, why so many requirement defects? After so much of review, back and forth, questioning, and now we have Agile in place. Agile is like you go to the person and talk, you have multiple iterations, still there are requirement defects. We have not improved much in that space, right? Because so we have the client, this is the general setup. The client or the business or the product owner who wants the product, who's completely, non-technical. And there's a development team, a developer, a QA, that can be managers or business analysts. And the client always speaks in terms of what? Domain. They speak in terms of profit loss, business, and human language. But the development team is always thinking in terms of code, what are the microservices, what is the infrastructure, in that terms. And of course, they communicate. Client gets to see now and then is the UI. And if defects are not obvious, right, any requirement defects will go unnoticed. And the ideal case in Agile project is the client comes and interacts. You show frequent showcases of the app level. But it's not always the ideal case in real life. They may be busy. They may not be even available to see the UI. And at the end, if they see, they may say, oh, this is not what I told you. The requirements may be entirely misunderstood. So that's where the problem comes, and that's why still we are having, even today, we are having so many requirement defects in software. So how will this be? So client, we have developers, we have testers, and all of them are communicating in the same terms. You trade in the same terms, which is nothing but specifications, the requirements. So that's what BDD is all about. So you know about TDD, right? Test-driven development. Yeah. So you write tests first, then develop so that you ensure every part of the code has a test. But what if you write wrong test? So that's the whole point. So behavior-driven development is to write the behaviors in English, or you get the clients also write the behavior. So who's the best person to write the behavior? Client, right? And so usually what happens, they give it in a document, or one person goes, understands, they come and transfer the knowledge to the rest of the team. So it's always like that. We don't have the luxury of the entire team going in, and even if the entire team goes and understands, the perception differs. When you say Apple, you might think you're eating Apple, you might think a computer. So it differs, right? So again, we talk and we again reaffirm in the same terms, in specifications. So in this way, you reduce the problems in understanding. So that's what we do. So when you write this first, it is called behavior-driven development, but not necessarily that you have to do that. You can even use the same concept for testing alone. So developers can still test irrespective of how you develop. You can still use the same concept for testing alone also. So it's the shifts focus from pure test scenarios into specifications. And then it helps capture the behavior of the application from the stakeholders' point of view. Okay? And then technical and non-technical people can understand this. I'll show you how. How many of you have already worked with BDD? Okay, good. Worked with BDD. Okay, I'll show you how. Okay, how technical and non-technical people can get involved in this. And it's all about writing executable specifications. So there's no separate requirement document and separate test case file. There is a specification document which can be executed. That's the whole concept of BDD. Okay, so we can get into doing BDD. So there are various tools. I'll show you the list at the end. So BDD with Cucumber JVM. Okay, so Cucumber is one of the most well-known BDD tool, and it is primarily for Ruby. So Cucumber JVM was developed later for Java, for people who want to work with Java. It also supports other languages like Ruby, whatever the JVM supports. Okay. To get to understand what is BDD, we should know some syntax called jerking. So we agreed that we want the specification or the test to be in human language, which is English. Okay, but if I write in a different format, maybe the client can read and understand if my grammar is wrong, but can the computer understand? No, right? So the English should be executable. So we have a particular format of English which you have to follow to write a BDD test. So we have something called as a feature. Okay, this is how a test will look. I'll explain each part of it. So you have something called as a feature. A feature is nothing but any general, what is a feature? A part of a requirement. Excuse me. Unit. Okay, a feature is, in business terms, a feature is something that will do some functionality for the end user. Okay. So give us, for example, search is a feature, login is a feature. And inside the feature, you have multiple scenarios. Scenario is nothing but equivalent to a test case. So if you take login, you have a successful login as a test scenario, a failure login as a test scenario, and various other, like forget password is one test scenario. So all that will come under one feature. So we already saw the page object model. So similarly, you group your tests as features. Okay, under each feature, you will have the various test scenarios. This is a sample. And how is the test scenario with that? So first you have a feature. These are keywords, which are highlighted in colors, right? Those are keywords. So you give the feature tag and you put what feature it is. You can give them 2-3 line description of what the feature is. Then you give the scenario and explain what the scenario is. Then comes the given, when, and when. So whenever you write a test case, you first say what is the base state. So given I am in this state, so given I am logged in, that is my precondition. Then when I enter the search key, so what is the action? And then what is the expected? This is how you usually write a test case, right? You may write it in a different format, but this is the syntax. So there is a base state, then there is an action, and then there is an expected. You want to verify the expected. So that's the given, when, then format. You can actually extend that by using but and add. So I use, like, when I enter the search key and I click on search button. So I can write this in 2 ways. I can just say when I search, or I can go in a more detailed way saying when I enter the search keyword and then press the. So the more elaborate you write, the more clearer it will be. For example, I am a product owner. I just say when I search. The development team can just put an auto search or a button or a link. But if I particularly have it as a button in my mind, then I have to explicitly say this so that it is very clear that I am visualizing a button in my mind and a text box. Got it, right? So this way, if you write a specification, it serves as a test as well as a specification document. Then you can extend it by using and. So the and can be used along with any other thing. You can use it given, you can use it when, you can use it then. Similarly, you have but. So what is that? So I can say given I am logged in, but my session has expired. You want to test a scenario. So various others, you can use but as well. And the thing is that these are keywords just for readability. The code doesn't use any of these keywords. This is for the understandability and for people on the project and the clients to be on the same page. If you don't want to use any of this, you can still write just by using as well. This is that's the say login, enter the search key, click on the search button, product is listed. Right? You can prefer to use anything. So again, just some more syntaxes. So you saw this what is it? Setup and tear down concept. So if you want some tests to run, before that you want a precondition, and it is not just one action. You have a set of actions to happen before each test. For example, in this case, I want to verify the order placement. Okay. Whether the order is placed successfully. The other scenario is whether the order placement is failed. I'm giving some invalid payment credentials and the order is failed. So for both the tests, I have to log in, I have to search for the product, add it to cart, then proceed to checkout, then select pay by credit card. Okay, if I'm repeating this for, assume there are 5 scenarios under this order placement. If I'm repeating it for each thing, what will happen? And if the client is, or someone is validating, they'll get distracted by reading the same thing over and over again. So you can extract it to another section, a common section called background. This will still be executed for each test, but it will remain in a particular one only once for the test scenario, the feature file. You got what is the background? Right? Any questions? Just ask them. And then you have something called scenario outline and examples. So if you want to run one test case for multiple data sets, so here I just put some testing of products discount. Real case which I have done is like testing in airlines. Okay, so the test case is very simple. Book ticket. But for them, based on the weekdays, Mondays and Fridays tickets are high. Weekends, they have some other factors coming in. And weekdays it's very low. So the actions will be same, but the input and output will have a lot of value. I have to literally execute 50 tests, 50 means one test case is 50 set of data. In that case, if you use a tool like this, you just have to write the test case once, and even the underlying code just once. And this you can parameterize whichever data changes and pass the data as examples. You can, if you have any questions. So here, when I enter the search key, I'm just parameterizing the product name. And I can pass whichever product I want for searching. So first time, the search will happen for name 1, and it will check if the percentage of discount is 15%. Second time, it will pass these two. The name will be name 2, and discount by validate for 30%. So we go to groups. So till the previous slide, we saw what was the syntax of jerkins. So Coimbatore also gives something called hooks, which is nothing but like the before class and after class, before suite and after suite, the annotations which you had, test and and all that. Right? So you have before and after. You can do the setup of the add-on. For example, initiation of the browser, all that you can do in your before, and after that clearing your data, closing the browser instance, tweeting the driver, all that you can do in your after class, after hook. So this is before and after. And you can also use tagged hooks. For example, you have a big test suite, 500 tests. Okay, there is a small change in one particular functionality. You don't want to run all 500 tests. It will take some time. You want a quick regression. So you want to run a set of functionality. You will have to go manually check them and run them. Instead of that, you can just tag by writing the test itself. You can tag them. Here I just taken an example of a smoke. You can tag them as feature wise or any name. You can just give them any name and put a tag. Then you can use these tags either to run the set of tests or to do some action before that particular group of tests. So if I have smoke, I just say after smoke do something. So if we see the tag and the annotation of after that particular group of tests are executed, whatever is in the after block will be executed. So this will be very handy if you have a big test suite and if you want to execute certain preconditions for a particular set of tests and all that. So next is, I'll show you a demo before that. Quick setup. So I've used Eclipse here. You can, any questions? So you have to just create a Java project, download the Selenium jars, add to the external libraries. I'll show you that. Then download the Coimbatore libraries. These are the Coimbatore libraries. Just Googling it, you get all this. You get very good help from Google. and then install Eclipse Cucumber plugin. So what does it do? I mean, this is not the main plugin. You have to have the Cucumber like this, that's all. But the highlighting of the keywords, when you make some mistakes, all that, if you have this plugin, it will help. So the same way for IntelliJ also you have plugins. For any other IDE, there are plugins available. Okay, I'll show you the one. So here is a simple project which I have written. I have not used any framework as such because you can use it along with page object model also if you want. It's a combination of all if you want. So I just have the feature file. It says, so simple. I'm logging into a particular website. That's all. Users are login page, gives the credentials, and validate the login. That's all. And now I'm going to see the corresponding step. So if I just give 5 steps, it takes me to this step. So initially what you can do is you can just write the feature in English in jerking syntax, and you can give a parameter called try run. I will show you where to give. And if you just execute, the format of this step will be displayed in the console. So this step definition uses regex. You see, it uses regex. So even if you pass in a parameter, it uses regex to recognize to match the step definition and with the feature step. Okay. So you need not write on your own. If you just run the test first initially without any step definition, in the console you will get all the format. Just copy paste it in your step definition file, and then internally whatever actions it has to do, that you have to write. So the driver dot all that you have to write. So in this here I have not used any framework. I just directly done it because I don't want to make it more complex. So then you have the runner class. So this is where actually you say, so you use the JUnit run with annotation and Cucumber options annotation. Cucumber internally uses JUnit. So you just say run with using Cucumber. Then you say Cucumber options are where are the feature files, the path of the feature file and the path of the step definitions, the classes. Then so do you want to use to just bind the step definitions and the features so that it will understand for this set of features I have to use these step definitions. Then the third line is for the reporting. I'll explain that later. So once I have this, I just run my it was too quick. So I just logged in to the thing. So the report is nothing but you can get a JSON report as well as an HTML report. So if you are just running on your local, JSON is decent enough. You can, HTML report is decent enough. I'll show you the report. But if you want to link with the CI and you want to create more complex or customized reports, you can use the JSON and play around with them. I'll just show you the HTML report for now. So I've just configured your HTML as well as JSON. JSON both are configured. And I've given the path. So if you come here, in the same place, you have the HTML report. It lists the feature names, then the scenario names. If you just click open, it will list each step of it. And if anything has, so how many ever features and scenarios you have, everything will be listed here. And if anything fails, it will come in red. So it will be very clear exactly which step has failed. Then this is the JSON report. So this one you can use it and customize it for your own. If you're linking it Jenkins or Go or any other TeamCity or any other CI tool, you can just, there are available plugins, use them and customize your reports as well. So this is the report which you saw. So when this is pretty much a very basic BDD test. So when any questions to know? Okay. So when to not choose BDD? Okay. So this has a lot of advantages, but doesn't it is an additional layer, right? All said and done, it is an additional layer of code. So that means you are adding some weightage to your automation test. So when not to go for BDD is you have a very quick project to finish, very short term, like 1 or 2 months. You may not need BDD. Similarly, not many new onboardings. So BDD also helps in onboarding new people. To get new developers, new business analysts, new testers, just by reading this specifications, they can understand exactly how the app works. Okay, so if you think that new people are not going to come, then it's not worth going for BDD. And similarly, you're sure that your business will not get involved in this. The one main reason we go for BDD is business also reads it, or they also write this. So we've had product owners and business analysts write this for us. So we need to spend time on again discussing, if they have clearly specified, then if it is not in our understanding, we can get it clarity. So if all these cases we decide not to go for BDD, just stick with the code level layer, not to have discussion. Apart from that, yeah, some other tools. So Cucumber for Ruby, Cucumber JVM for Java, you have Specflow for .NET, you have JBehav. This was before Cucumber JVM came. For Java, JBehav was used. You have Gauge. Gauge is a tool by ThoughtWorks. So it has an IDE as well as the testing framework for BDD, and it has some advanced concepts also, like you can just like Ruby. If you use Ruby, you can easily create gems and add to it. So similarly, that provision is there in Gauge. And you have Aspect and Jasmine, which are more like lower level tests. So you can use BDD even for writing, not just UI tests, even for writing service tests. Even your service tests you can explain. But it is better to use it for writing end-to-end tests. Because very short tests, the user flows are there. If you use the BDD for that, that would be the most useful way to use it. Thanks. Please give feedback.
I think we are nearing the close of the session. Thank you so much for attending. Hope you found it more interesting and more informative. So, what are these are the few points that I want to say? First, so all the PPTs for today's all 4 talks will be available on the webpage. They'll be shared soon. And this is the first edition of VodQA, and these will keep on maturing. It is a bi-monthly event, wherein you can find the details either in Beta page or you can find even in ThoughtWorks events page. So you can find the links here. And then and this is a community-driven event. Not only the speakers are not only from ThoughtWorks, so you can also submit your talks and do presentations here. So whenever the presentations are open, you can submit your talks, and we will call you and call you for the event.
Just the presentation. Summary, or should I give the entire topic or the entire document?
No. First, we would ask you for the abstract, and then depending upon the theme and shortlist, we will call you. We will get you.
If we need clarity, we call you and ask you. If the abstract is not clear.
And then, so this is the VodQA in Coimbatore. We also have VodQAs in all the different parts of ThoughtWorks India, Bangalore, Pune, Chennai. So for Chennai, we are doing the live streaming, so you can even take a look into it whenever it happens. So the same is available on even ThoughtWorks events page. And then, so there have been a lot of events which had been done in Chennai. So you can find those materials there in the same page. You would have to need to go to editions, and when you go to editions, you will find flashbacks. And I will show you. And this is an event for focusing on today's. There is also an event called Geek Night, and there is a forum for techies, and that is a monthly event. You can feel free to attend. So I'll quickly show you.
networking. From next time, mostly we will try to do live streaming for even workup and too. So in case you couldn't attend it on that particular day, try to have a look at it even after the event day so that you can take away anything that interests you. The videos would mostly be in YouTube. The Geek Night, VodQA, all videos, Geek Night videos of Chennai for the last 1 year or so. And the VodQA videos from now on would be there and you would enjoy it.
Sure. So this is the VodQA page for Chennai. If you go to these editions, right? For example, if you go to this, you will find the sessions and with the PPTs here. You can refer to them easily. Thank you so much for attending.
December 15th, we are open. You will like have something.
Please, listen, please attend if you can. If you are coming to Chennai.
Food will be served down in cafeteria in the ground floor. So the things you would need to have is your sticky with your name, and you should say that you are from Coimbatore. I mean, you should say that the food is being served.
So the main building, there is another room, right to the cafeteria.
So we will just guide you there. After this is over, one of us will guide you there. And just
And please use this time for networking as well. So if there are people from various other offices, let's use it.
thank you guys.
Maybe
Contact someone.
Selenium Java. So definitely you see. So you just in the answer. Similarly, Google Training just the Google also has setup and add on the but still you can use. You can just add the Java. You add the Java and try it out. You can buy it.